So this is going to be my third update for Pan That Palette. In case this is the very first video you're seeing on this series from me, I will go ahead and link the whole playlist from last year and from 2015 as well down in the description box down there. Just open it up, you'll find it just fine. But essentially I picked out these two products at the beginning of the year, these two palettes here, and I'm trying to finish off the majority of the shadows in here. This was started by Amber F. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Urban Decay Naked palette, and I had some pretty good progress on this even though I didn't use it a ton. I still had some pretty decent progress. This video's probably going up, I would say maybe, I'm about a week behind schedule because I took that last minute trip to Rhode Island, so I'm just behind schedule a little bit. I should be caught up by the end of this week, but I will go ahead and insert last month's progress update on the Urban Decay Naked palette right now. And this is what my palette looks like after 2 months of use. And this is what my palette looks like after 3 months of use. So as you can see, I did hit pan on 2 shades in this palette. I hit pan on Creep and Gunmetal, and if you look really close in my last update video, I think it was Andrea from Dolled Up Daisy 24, there was the tiniest little fleck of pan shining when the light hit it just right in Creep, so you couldn't see it if you're just looking at it straight on, but in that video I noticed there was a little speck, like as big as a piece of pepper or something, but it was a teeny little speck, and there technically was pan, but I didn't even realize it. So I'm considering this update where I hit pan on both of those 2 shades there. I've actually been using Sin as a face highlight here and there. I use the Naked shade probably every single time that I reach for this palette just as a transition color. I'm planning to hit pan on Sidecar by the next update, so this is going to be one of my goals for this time. You can see the dip in there is pretty massive. I want to hit pan on both Sin and Sidecar by the next update. And then Buck, it is barely moving. I've been trying to use it a little bit as a face contour or bronzer product, but it's barely budging. That's probably going to still be hanging around at the end of the year. And not from me not using it, it's just so tightly packed into that pan. Half-Baked, you guys know that I like to wear the Half-Baked shade into here with like a blue or a teal or a green or something. That's really pretty. I only did that a couple times over this past month, but I don't like gold, and for some reason I can wear Half-Baked when it's paired with something a little bit brighter, but I don't know. I'm still not a fan of gold shades, but Half-Baked is alright. There's Smog there with a little dip, Dark Horse. If you remember, Dark Horse and Hustle, these two right here are the ones that I just want to hit pan on, and I'll be satisfied with where I'm at with those shadows. If everything at the end of the year is finished off except for Dark Horse and Hustle, and they both have pan in it, I'm going to consider this panning of this palette a success because they just look so insanely muddy on my eyes. I think I might have a look with Toasted. I think I just tossed it all over the eye because it's a little similar to MAC Sable, and I love wearing that all over the eye by itself. It wasn't a very impressive look. It was just kind of like meh. So it looks a lot prettier in the pan here than it does on the actual eyes. So not my favorite shade. Creep, it's making some pretty nice progress. I'll run Creep along the lash line if I just want a really soft liner look for the day, or sometimes I'll set my liner. I don't do that every single day. And then Gunmetal on the end. Usually I'm just putting that one all over the lid and, you know, putting like a brown into the crease area. I have been using that one just on like the outer corner of my eye look just to deepen it up sometimes, and it looks fine. I think I might try repressing some shades out of this palette and, you know, mixing them with other shadows and seeing if I can make like a Frankenstein shade, like a custom shadow. So I don't know, I'll play around with this, maybe do a couple swatches, see if I can find something that I like paired with some of these shadows. But that is where I'm at on this one. I'm really excited about that, and I think I can definitely hit pan on both of those two by the next update. Then I have my Urban Decay Feminine palette, and this palette has been discontinued since I purchased mine, but when I bought mine from Ulta. I had some pretty good progress on this one, I thought. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert last month's progress update right now. And this is what the Feminine palette looks like after 2 months of use. And this is what the Feminine palette looks like after using it for 3 months. So if you look on here, obviously I have pan on Bordello, which is this pink kind of glittery shade, and then also AC/DC. I don't think the pan grew very much in Skimp, but I did use it like 3 or 4, maybe 5 times. I usually just use that one to set everything. I've been trying to save my cream shadows and my lighter shadows that go like on the lid or the inner corner until like mid-year or the end of the year, just because I only have 2 or 3 of them in this palette, and so, you know, those are like the first ones that are always finished off, and then you're left with just dark shades at the end of the year. So I'm trying something different. If I wanted to, I'd probably have, you know, both of the lightest cream shades finished out of both palettes by now, but I'm just not using them. So Bordello, I use that one a lot with AC/DC and like mixing them together. I tried AC/DC and Hijack down here together. That was okay, but this one I'm probably gonna have to do this all over the lid. I was wanting to do that last month and I just didn't get around to it, but it's a shimmery shade and it's a little bit darker, but it does have almost like a green tinge to it when it's swatched out, so it's really pretty. It's just super shimmery, so I don't like putting that one in the crease area. And like I've mentioned before, this shade right here is Gunmetal, so you're not going to see any progress on this shade throughout the entire year. That one is a duplicate. It's in my Naked palette, and I'm using the one out of the Naked palette. So everything else in here but that one will have progress on it, and hopefully everything in here but that one will be finished by the end of the year, and then I can just depot the one out of here and put it into like a Z palette or something. But I'm feeling the purple. I think I'm gonna try and work on this purple shade for April, for what's left of April. I'm a little bit into April already, but for what's left of April, I want to work on AC/DC a little bit. I think I can come up with some really cool kind of looks, but that's what it's looking like so far. So I definitely want to hit pan on both of these two by the next update. That sounds insane, but I would like to hit pan on 4 of the shades out of both palettes before the end of the year. But anyway, that is it. So I really do appreciate you guys watching. I'm really excited about the new pan that's showing, and hopefully next month we'll have some more pan showing as well. But that was everything. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.